Hello. Using my propane for the first time in a bit. Setting up my camp. So I've dug about 6 inches, put some fresh rocks around, and I'll make a fire, but not for cooking, so I won't make a large fire, because I'm going to use my propane tonight. I don't feel like hauling rocks all night to build a huge fire, so we're going to make a small fire and cook with propane tonight. It's overcast, but it's not windy, so it's eerily quiet, which is the best desert vibe for sure. Just the stillness, quietness. Look at that crag over there. It's the largest crag in this canyon, I think. That big rock wall right there. And I'm very familiar with this canyon. So I think I'm just gonna try to see what that is over there. Sliding on my ass through some of this rock. That's called the 5 points of contact. 2 feet, 2 hands, and your ass. That makes 5. Yeah, super pretty here. I would definitely take shelter here if it was monsooning or blizzard or something like that. You can definitely hold out a couple days here, as long as you have your own water. But this spot is got soft sand like the beach here, 12-foot ceiling, campfire over here. Alrighty, those are those big rocks over there. Here you can see there's a bunch of steep sections. Here I'm finally getting a look at what's going to that crag, and there's a bunch of flat area here. So I'm gonna go down here, over here, and then towards that crag, work my way back. Such a dramatic shift. This is cottonwood. Still has leaves on it. Salt cedar. This is invasive also. It sprawls. As you can see, it kind of grows low and sprawls versus growing up and pretty, like these junipers here. So these guys are invasive. They've been here probably 100 years. In terms of like the actual species since people got here. Look at this. Human activity. Somebody probably had a camp down here. It's the only flat spot around. Hunting or trapping. Pioneering. Yeah, look at this. It's old. It's probably over 50 years old, I would say. Check it out, this is the fire pit. Used for a while. So, they were here for a while. Look at this. It's a little Hogan shelter. Almost like a debris shelter. Probably stood this up, covered it up with brush. Little campfire here. Probably had some traps out. See if you can spot this. Say stop when you see something. Look at that. It's a set of antlers. Old ones, maybe not too old. A full set of, look at this, it's still crusty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5-pointer. 5-pointer set. Look at that. It's legal to collect right now. January 1st, there's no collecting of antlers. But these are old. These are definitely over 10 years. They've been here all summer, perched up on this tree, eating the sunlight. Look at that, man. But you can sand these down and still have like a nice piece. And especially a set. A set is rare. Sometimes you'll find the skull, like a natural death with a set. But usually you find 1 or 2 sets all year. This is my first set, I think, this year. Yep, it's December. Yep. Last year I had a set. This is my first set right here. Boom. Beautiful. Look at that. Absolutely massive set. I'll just sand this down. Still very intact. That another old antler. That's the spike right there. That's the part that's attached to the head. All right, right up against it here. I don't think you get a good night's sleep with that over your head, so I'm not sure if there's shelter here. But if you were warring with other tribes, other people, taking refuge up here, no one would get to you. So sometimes that's how it went. They built houses that were just so high up in the canyon that if somebody tried to lay siege to them, they could just kind of descend hell on them. Like if you're coming up here and somebody pops out, you're dead, man. They have a bow, they have a rock. They could just literally rock you to death, because you couldn't even get a stable foot to throw a rock back or your axe back or whatever. Gyps, what do you think, bud? I gotta look at this cairn, man. It's so weird when you're in the middle of the wilderness and you find human signs. It's such a comforting thing to know that somebody was here. Somebody had the time to stack rocks here. Look at that. That is fucking cool, man. And it's no shelter over here or nothing. So I think it just marks maybe like a holy spot too, you know. This is a red crag. It's almost like cathedral walls, you know, cathedral pillars. You can see everything else is kind of ragged around here. But here, it's like this little sanctuary. Okay, descending here. You can see how much up and down there is here. These washouts and draws. My saddle's over there, so trying to get there at the highest spot possible without going too far in. But I'm also keeping my eye out for prominent stuff, and I'm getting drawn to certain stuff. Like there's a big rock over there with an overhang. That could be a shelter. But I only have 10% battery left, so Gonna keep it short up until I get out of here. This is that rock I saw from 2 miles out. Look at this. Water flowing through it even. Nice overhang. Nice rock for a fire over there. Kick the heat back at you. Pretty cool. Look at this. So I've been on that saddle the whole time. And this is the draw here, which is massive. Look at this. That's where it turns from a draw into a gorge. And you can see how much the water has carved out right here. Really deep. But I have to go in there because I have to get out through there somewhere. So this will be the big obstacle. I got about 2.5 hours of sunlight, so we have to go in here and out there. I entered the canyon through here, so if I get shut down up there, I have to traverse back to where I came from. But it looks doable up there. I don't see much sheer rock except there. But this is really pretty. I'm gonna go down there, take a look on what this water draw has carved out. This is a massive gorge. Comes up real quick. Goes from a draw to a gorge. Look at these really pretty junipers in here. This has been dead for a long time. Maybe even 1% battery here on top of the ridge. It's past 3 o'clock. Got about 2 miles to go to camp. And I'm almost on top here. Storm is coming in, looks like. Good canyon hike. See you back at camp. Breakfast is served. 2 eggs, sausage, tomato with some onion. This is Italian bread with melted cheese. Gonna be a long day. I'm gonna skip lunch and hike all day. So I gotta fuel up. Starting my morning hike here. A little cloudy. You've been staying at camp. Gypsy. We're gonna go find this deep draw that goes really far in. Might get shut out, but we'll see. No rain forecast, but the clouds look like they're gonna be around all day, so I might get some rain. Look at Gyps up there. My little technical hiker right there. Hi, Gyps. Come here, bud. Come here, Gyps. You did a good job yesterday, Gyps. You gonna be good today? Huh? You gonna slay the canyon? Yeah, that's my big girl. All right, came out of the canyon. Got real treacherous coming through there. Lots of big rocks. So up here, a little bit flatter. Okay, I've decided to go into the canyon. Getting a little board up there. Low sage forest. It's kind of played out. I can do low sage forest in okay weather too. This type of steep going up and down, I can only really do in the cold weather. So it's cold now, so I'm going to see what's in this canyon. same story, real brittle. This canyon has a lot of bones or antlers, but it's only deer. Oh, look at this. A cairn. This is one of the few flat spots in here. Marking this right here. This is a good shelter. Looks like a 360. Looks like stuff does break off though. Might fall on your head. But if it was a monsoon, you'd be thankful for this spot right here. The draw is right there, so the creek would be here. Only sign of human activity the last couple hours. Land stake. First water. Another one. Look at this birthday balloon. Holy shit. So in a survival situation, this would be the only place you'd survive, because this is the only place in this whole canyon where there's good amounts of water. So the bigger the draw, the nastier the gorge. Unfortunately, that's where the water is. So if you're on the top of the plateau, you're just gonna be without water. Down here you can boil the water, make a fire, regroup. Up there it would just be parched. And it's definitely a big deal in the hot months where the heat will literally kill you out here. So finding a spot like that is an oasis. The water has worked its way down to the sandstone, where it's just sheer rock. It's carved out a path through here. I'm blindly kind of going into it, but I have my GPS. So what I saw from up there coming in is I can just kind of book it right up and then walk the crest of the plateau to the road. It's probably about 4 or 5 miles out now. But that's the game plan. Very pretty. The water has definitely created some dramatic landscape here. Lots of greenery here, even on the shrub side. It's early December and it's still nice and green. Yeah, you don't want to do stuff like this at night. And you can see here, this can be a false bottom here, this sand. And it's kind of hidden like a little track where you think you're stepping on some solid dirt, but it'll just kind of crush underneath you. So it's better just to step on rock here. The sand is misleading. So I got my buff here, my neck gaiter on my hiking pole. Just gonna use it to wash my face real quick. Kind of freshen up here. Chips, get out of there. All right, it's around 2 o'clock. I'm gonna make my turnaround now. About 4 or 5 hours away from my car, or my truck. So we're gonna make the turn. We're gonna go up and out of this canyon. Maybe we'll get distracted by something cool. Maybe not. But it is a full moon tonight, supposedly. So I shouldn't have any issue if I run into a little bit of darkness. And I'm gonna hike out this canyon now. Look at this big boneyard here. Good sized deer. Looks like it wasn't hunted, because if it was, the bones would be eaten, and they're not. Gypsy, come here, bud. Look at that. It's a doe. Good sized deer. Okay, so this is where I was hiking all day into that canyon. All the way into there. I've come up here. And this side of the canyon, pretty sketchy. It's all wall here. As you can see, it's a lot of rock wall. A lot of scree, a lot of steep incline. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna explore here, and then I'm gonna go back up and skirt back to the top of that ridge where I hiked the bottom of that canyon. I'm gonna hike the top of that ridge because I know I can get out there, but here it's all pretty treacherous. So I've been hiking all day. I don't want to have, jelly feet up there. and slip and fall because it's a lot of technical stuff to go through there. Hi, Jep. What's up? Daddy taking a break. Yeah. Good checking in, Jeps. That's my Jill. Ready to go, Jep? Come on, let's go. Okay, coming up against this rock wall here. It's too steep to go up there. So I'm just gonna skirt alongside of it until I get an access point. Almost out here. This was friendlier than I thought. This little plateau saved my ass because you can see that side is, there's only one way out and that's up. Still sketchy here. 10-foot drops here. Look at all that though. Interestingly, how you don't see stuff when you're in the canyon. You don't see anything. And that's all cottonwood. That means there's water there. I might have hiked that before too. I've hiked sections on the far side there, but I can't really tell until you get down there. But I don't think I have, because I don't see a road adjacent to it. But anyway, we're out. It's around 3 o'clock. Now I'm just gonna do a straight shot for that road and catch that road, walk to camp. Really good condition, sharp points. Probably less than 5 years it's been here. Good find. This is a 4-point buck. Back at camp, gonna make some pasta. You've held down the fort. There, we got some pasta with meat sauce. This is spaghetti. This is beef, onion, garlic with store-bought sauce. We got a roll here. And we also got some spinach salad with tomato, cucumber, and onion and creamy Italian dressing. This was a lot easier to do with the propane for the sauce. I just cooked the pasta on the fire in a pot, and the sauce I did on the Coleman propane, and that worked out well. This spaghetti though was kind of a hassle. I should have just brought like some penne or some noodles that are not as long, because when you're camping it's like you want food to cooperate with you and spaghetti just kind of runs away from you. Slippery little fucker. You've was hanging out by the fire. It's no wind tonight. Gonna have a nice big fire. I'm gonna take naps throughout the night. Get a gypsy over here. Hi, Gigi. You did a good job today, Jip. You. Good morning. All packed up here. Filled in my fire pit with dirt. These are all the antler finds from the weekend. Had rain here this morning, but it wasn't too bad. We do have a bunch of gnarly looking clouds. This was a fun camp. I didn't have any service here, which was another cool element, just to disconnect. Chips, come here, bud. Fun weekend. Yesterday I hiked close to 10 miles off trail. Felt good. Burned out a lot of this wood here. I was just burning probably 1,000 pounds a day, just throwing big logs into the fire. Beautiful, beautiful weekend here for December. Usually it's more windy and more harsh out here, but this weekend was beautiful. Absolutely still desert, little patches of rain and storm, but nothing too bad. Very thankful. Good start of the desert season. I don't hunt for sheds. That's not what I do. If I did do that, I would get a dog to do that. Train a dog to do that. But these are all pretty. This was probably the freshest one. This was the one I found yesterday at the end of the day. And this is the 10-pointer here. That'll probably go on my front porch. Throw some Christmas lights on it after I sand it down a little bit.